All right, Uncle Dave fans, welcome to a brand new edition of Fishing with Uncle Dave. We're up at Chetek Lake for part 2. We stay at the Lakeview Resort. Here's some good information for you. And I don't know about you guys, but this sounds like my place to go right here. All right, we got all unloaded and we took a little video of the place just to kind of show you, where we was at and what a beautiful place. Brock is our host. They take a really good care of us. A nice family right there owned the thing, and everything was clean, immaculate. The fish house was wonderful. Everything was well lit. Everything is well put. He walks you to the cabin, walks you through everything. I tell you what, he is an A1 host, and this is a definite spot to check out. We're going to bring you this video here. We've got it jam-packed full of videos and how-tos, and I'll show you exactly what we were doing, with setting the bobbers up and exactly what we're using. All right, hope you enjoy the video. All right, boys and girls. Now Brenda's fishing only about 1.5 to 2 foot deep, and but she's in this a little further than we are. But we're in the same area. As you can see, these old bluegill, when they are fine. I tell you what, there are some tasty biddles right there. All right, same deal set up, and Brenda's got a little bit of a blue color ice fishing jig on, but still the same type of situation. I said she set down about 1.5 to 2 foot. And yeah, there's the little jig, and there's the fish, and that's how you do it. Yeah, throw that one back in, Brenda. We'll let him grow up, and we'll see what we can do about his big one. All right, good job. Okay, well, Dave fans, here we are out fishing again on Chetek Lake. Actually, we're in Prairie Lake, and this is how we do it. All right, Brenda's got it set up there. Just do it out there. We're letting the bobber set up a little bit, and we got the wax worm, and it's set down about 1.5 to 2 foot. What Brenda's got it set down now, and then she just works it along a little bit. And then we just kind of keep watching that bobber. She's fishing a little shallower and I'm fishing a little deeper. But we kind of just working the shorelines, and we kind of work along until you find some fish. We've been finding fish from about 3 foot of water all the way down to about 8 foot of water. They're not everywhere, but when you find one, you'll usually find several. Well, I said, but that's what we're doing today as far as the how-to goes. As I say, you see Uncle Dave's got his bobber there, and I'll go ahead and work it in. We'll throw it out again here and just keep working it. A little bit different areas. Throw it out here and there. Okay, I threw it in just a little closer this time. And we'll see and wait see what the bobber does. There, okay, set down. Oh, there it is. I got one. Okay, somebody's going to have to run the film here. Okay, yeah, Brenda's gonna take over, and Uncle Dave's gonna reel this bluegill in. Okay, sound like a pretty good one. We got a little bit drag pulling here. Oh boy, boys and girls. Oh, this is what we come to lakes up here, Wisconsin lakes for. Is bluegill this size, and there's quite a few of them. But I'm telling you what now. Oh, look at this guy here. Oh my goodness. That is one great big bluegill right there, boys and girls. And that's how you do it. See, he ate that teardrop. I got a little teardrop on here with a wax worm. Let me pop this out here for you. All right, you can see this bait is just real tiny. It's kind of like for ice fishing, and just tip it with a wax worm, but you can see the different size, But yeah, there you go, and that's exactly how you do it. You can see I've got mine set about 3 feet here, down from the bobber, and we sit out there and let it work. Bring it along a little bit, let it set, and you'll find these big bluegill. All right, boys and girls, that's how you do it. Yeah, like I say, boys and girls, these bluegills aren't everywhere, but when you find one, you usually find several of them. And the thing is, they were some pretty nice ones, especially when the wind was blowing in those banks. Them dudes were piling up in there, and there were some really nice bluegill. Like I said, we're on the lake. It's beautiful scenery around the lake. You can see while you're catching bass like this here, you can just keep checking out all the different wildlife and all the scenery. I said, leave these guys alone. Don't scare them too close. We let them alone. Here's another bald eagle. I said, there's a lot of eagles there. And this is one of the biggest hostas I think I ever seen. That thing was huge. Just wanted to share that with you. There sits the boat. That's from the top of the stairs there looking down and getting ready to go fishing. All right, Uncle Dave fans, looks like that way I showed you how to fish with the bobber set down and the wax worm and maybe a red worm, looks like it works pretty good. And don't forget about the old Terminator spinnerbaits, because hey, them dudes work good too. All right, so Uncle Dave, hey, get out there and get to fishing. Okay, another how-to moment here. As we went along, this lake has a lot of bogs in it. So, you know, we're sitting in 8 to 10 foot of water, and those bogs are there, and it's 8 or 10 foot deep underneath them too. So there's a lot of roots and whatnot that hang underneath those. So if you get that spinnerbait or even your waxworm, whatever stuff, you throw it up there close to it, let it sink right past that, and them bass and northern are laying underneath there. So is those walleye, and they'll come out and smash those baits. So just keep throwing them in there, letting it drop. Make sure you keep the weeds off your lure, and just keep working it up in there. And I'm telling you what, man, these bass are laying up in there. And surprising enough, the northern are in there, and so was some of those walleye. I caught 2 walleye, 22 and a half, 21 and a half, you know, and we just kept catching a lot of fish. The bass were there, the northern were there. We had a great time. Like I said, the sun come out, the water temperature came up 6, 7 degrees, and the fish really turned on. All right, boys and girls. Uncle Dave got another good bluegill on here. Just like we said, you can see mine's still bobber. I'm sitting down just a little bit deeper than Aunt Brenda, but the results are pretty much the same. All right. So look how beautiful those fish are. Look at the blues and the different colors in it out here in the sunshine. Isn't that something? These fish are very beautiful, and they're very good eating. All right, let's get back to fishing. All right, Uncle Dave fans, we're back out fishing this afternoon, me and Aunt Brenda, and we're back over here on a little bit of a familiar spot. We've been fishing all day today, and it came up a big old thunderstorm. We got ran off the lake for cold couple hours. We went in town, got some more bait and did whatnot. Now we're back out fishing, but we did catch a couple of northern today, a few bass, and we're back out here fishing now out here again. But you can see the storms just all got past, and we got about an hour, maybe 2 before they come again. So we thought we'd come out here and give it a little shot here, and we got a few fish in the live well here already. We're going to cook up for dinner, but I said, well, here we are back. We're throwing. Let Brenda show you what she's got on again today here. She's got on her Thiel bobber up there. It's a real small bobber. We have a 1/32 ounce jig on, and we are tipping those with what's called wax worms. They're the little tiny white guys. I hate to say, but they look like maggots, but there they are. And the bluegill absolutely love them. Crappie eat them, perch eat them, bass will eat them. About anything that swims out here will eat those. She's even caught northern pike on them wax worms and the little tiny jigs like that. But I say set her down about 1.5 feet or so, throw in there closer to the bank. We'll see if we can see a little blue bobber out there. You can just see it out there now. It's floating along. If she don't get a bite, she moves it just a little bit. Oh, it's staying down. There it is. She's got one. She can bring him into us here. All right, and she gotta just keep pressure on them. There a lot of weeds here, but if we keep the pressure on them, they come on in. So here she goes. Another fine example on how to fish Uncle Dave style. There you go. You set that bobber down about how deep they are. Well, about 2 foot here today. But anyway, there's another bluegill. Really nice little bluegill you can see there. They show pretty marks. Show them to the camera here, Aunt Brenda. Yeah. There you go. You can see it's just a perfect little bluegill there. He's just so pretty. You know, we finally got some sunshine coming out here. Look at that. So, but that's what we're after, bluegill and crappie. But there we go. And that's exactly how Uncle Dave does it. And that's how I'd like you guys to do it. If you're watching the video and want to catch some panfish, get you some of them little old tiny Thiel bobbers. Get some 1/32 ounce little jigs. Get you some wax worms, red worms, night crawlers, even some minnows. But that's how you do it. And like I said, we're up here on Prairie Lake, and we're fishing bluegill. It is the 2nd week of June now, okay? And that's how we do her up here, Uncle Dave. Well, as it would have it up there in Wisconsin, here comes another storm, and we had to get off the lake, and we're just gonna watch it go. This was some of the longest thunder I've ever heard in my life. It just kept rumbling and rumbling and rumbling. But that was pretty much done for the day after this we went through. All right, said goodbye to another storm, woke up and went fishing again, started banging them again. Okay, sure. Okay, Uncle Dave fans, look at here. A surprise walleye. And you know what he hit? This right here. I don't know for sure if he's after the trailer or if he's after spinnerbait, but either way, here we are on Prairie Lake in Chetek, Wisconsin, and catching a 22-inch walleye. All right, Uncle Dave fans, here we go. Yeah, what a nice surprise to pull those walleye out of there. And their colors, they were just amazing. Got one. It's a good one. And again, just keep watching around. Wildlife is everywhere. What a beautiful place. Alright, Uncle Dave fans, we're back on Prairie Lake today. We're up here at the north end of it. And this is what I'm throwing today to catch largemouth bass and northern pike. You see I've got my leader on just in case, the northern get on there. And Brenda can show you over here next to the bank where we're at. This is the areas I'm kind of looking for. I'm sitting in about 7 foot of water here according to my depth finder. And we're throwing up along the bank there, which you can see we're pretty close. And it'll get up, it drops off real fast. And those northern and bass are kind of hanging out on the edge of that 2 to 4 foot of water there as we come across them. So we just stop taking, I'll throw it over there, pretty close to the bank there, and just let her slow roll itself back to me. It's really too fast. I just want to keep it where I can kind of see it under the water there. Keep it about 1.5 feet or so under the water. Depends on how clear it is. But yeah, just keep working that along the bank. And you'll hook up. Just got to keep on, just keep throwing. Patience. Patience is the key. Patience is really the key when you're doing bass fishing and northern fishing, because it's not every cast. You don't sit there and wait for the bobber to go down. It's something you're creating yourself, and you're making the fish actually bite by putting something in front of them that kind of looks like a crappie or a bluegill, something they're used to eat. But anyway, let's get back to fishing. All right, there it is again, Uncle Dave fans. Spinnerbait worked right back here, and Brenda can show you right by the trees there where we's at. Do it right in that little corner there. Started reeling it in, kept it about 1 foot off the under the water, and bam, there's another bass. This is number 8 today that we've caught. So we're doing good with this bass fishing day. So all right, there you go, Uncle Dave fans. Yeah, that's right at 14. It touches 14. It's just a touch over 14. His lip right there. Yeah, he touches it. That's 14. Okay, there we go, boys and girls. Just in the Terminator. Yep, another 14 incher. 14 inches is what they got to be on this lake to have. And we don't keep a lot of bass all the time, but we do on this lake. We keep some to eat, and these are really good eating. But we don't keep any great big ones. But these that are 14 to 16 inches long are good to keep, and they're good to eat. And this lake has a lot of them. So there you go, Uncle Dave boys. Oh, Uncle Dave fans. All right, Uncle Dave fans, look at there. I said that old Terminator bait, that spinner bait we got on. Look at that right there. Put that dude down about, I said about 1 foot and a half. Throw it in up there close to the bank. And sure enough, yeah, you'll mess around and catch you a mess of these. All right, fishing with Uncle Dave. All right, here's another one. The old spinnerbait put it on. What a nice place. And turtles, like I said, I showed you a turtle last week we saw. Look at this one. This thing is so big around, we thought it was a log under the water to start with. It's like, my goodness. Then we saw his head stick up and he started moving. This lake, these lakes have got some of the biggest turtles I've ever seen. Snappers and soft shell. Well, looks like the sun's going down on yet another day. Had another big day up here at Chetek Lake, right here in what a beautiful resort, Lakeview Resort. Beautiful views, beautiful looks. Okay, and the sun's going down, and we're waiting for another day. Well, here it is. The next day, sun's out, and the fish are biting. Let's get to fishing. And what just a beautiful area that they have up there. I mean, you're on the lake. The views are wonderful. You can drive a long ways on the water, and it's just a beautiful place. All right, Uncle Dave fans, here is Aunt Brenda again with a giant. It's 9.5 inches long. Probably weighs, I'd guess maybe a pound. Could be maybe a little over. But, yep, I think we're going to take, I don't think, we was thinking about taking it to the record. All right, man, what another beautiful bluegill. Look at this thing up close. My goodness sakes, for 9.5 inches long, I don't know how wide it was, but we're sure banging them. There's another bass on that waxworm again. I'm telling you what, you can catch anything in there, the waxworm, and that old spinnerbait hits them too. But man, we sure caught a lot of bass. One day I caught 13 bass, another day I caught 12. And of course, let's not forget about these surprise walleyes once in a while. They were as amazing, and it was sure a lot of fun. Okay, everything straightened up. Here we go. Cast her out over there. She's got the bobber sitting over there. It's windy. You really can't see the bobber too much. But anyway, trust me. Oh, there she goes. Just like that, man. I'm telling you what, they're stacked in there. The wind is blowing in. I'm sorry, probably a lot of noise on the wind. But anyway, those bluegill, oh, that was quick release on that one. But anyway, we're sitting out here, like I said, and we're off this point. The wind's blowing in, and them bluegill are stacked up in here. They're here. There's crappie here. Oh, there's another one. Watch that little pole bend. That's ultralight stuff. I'm telling you what, this is a blast out here catching these bluegill. But yep, Chetek, Wisconsin, up here on the Chetek chain of lakes. And I'm telling you what, we're pulling in big old bluegill like this here. I'm telling you, it's just a lot of fun. And we're just about to have our limit here. I think 1 or 2 more fish will finish us up. So, all right, from Chetek, Wisconsin, hey, good fishing with Uncle Dave. All right, Dave fans, here we are again, out here on it's a wind-driven point. We're using the Uncle Dave method of the bobber with a little ice fishing jig right below it there. See, it's about, Brenda's fishing about 2.5 feet today. So this point drops off out here. It goes up to, about a foot there next to the bank there of the bog, and it comes out. We're sitting in about 6 or 7 foot of water here. And like I said, we just got that little teardrop there she got in her hand, and it's just a little jig head, a little 1/32 ounce jig head. And she's tipping, just put a little waxworm on there. And make sure she, got her line, make sure you get your line straight there. All right, Uncle Dave fans, we sit there on that wind-blown point and caught bluegill after bluegill after bluegill. I caught one that's over 10 1/4. Brenda messed around. She catches her second or third one of the week. It's over 10 1/4. And we just hammered them big old bluegill. Like I said, if you find a point and the wind's blowing in on it, hit it. We turn around and look, and we see this coming across the lake. Well, we thought it was actually going to go past us. But actually, no, this dude turned around and came right at us. We started getting hailstones hitting the water. We got our umbrellas up, and it rained so hard we could not see the bank to get back. We had to wait till it stopped. Anyway, it stopped. We got out. We went to a different area, and we're doing some crappie fishing. Kind of switching gears here, doing a little crappie fishing. And sure enough, we found them. They wasn't everywhere either, but when you found one, you usually found another one. So we just kept going on, and I'll tell you what, this walleye was down there on that bog. He come out and hit that spinnerbait. Another 21.5 incher was really a surprise. All right, Uncle Dave fans, we're changing things up just a little bit. I'm actually starting to fish for some crappie today. I'm using this little chicken jig. It's just a little 1/32 ounce jig. It's just got little feathers on it, a little head on it, and of course I'm using the, up here we got the Theo bobber, same thing. And what I'm doing is I'm throwing it out there along the weeds, and then I'll move it a little bit and move it a little bit and try to get these crappie to hit. All right, Uncle Dave fans, like I said, we targeted crappie today. There's the one. We've been catching quite a few of them about the same size. Sorry about the wind, but just like that, we just switched over to different jigs, and we're We're just using. She's using wax worms, and I don't even have any bait on. It's just the chicken hair jig. All right, that's how you do it. All right, Uncle Dave fans. All right, I got her out there. It's kind of hard, of course, to see in the camera. But anyway, I'm gonna put my pole here. We're gonna reel it in a little bit. We're gonna let it sit there. All right. Nothing went down. We're gonna reel it in, let her sit there. And that lets that little jig have a chance to float back underneath the bobber. And those crappie, when they're there, they just can't seem to stay off of it. So we've been sitting here and we've caught fish after fish after fish. It's one after the other. You know, our biggest one so far has been a 12-incher. We've caught a lot of smaller fish, but there for a little bit, just every cast, we were catching a crappie. So anyway, that's how Uncle Dave does it. And we'll bring you some more footage later, okay? I'll tell you what, those crappie could not stay off that chicken hair jig, that 1/32 ounce, just the little hair on it, or this 1/32 ounce jig she was tipping with the minnow. Those crappie just couldn't leave it alone. They had to hit it, man. There was a lot of them there, and we sure catching a lot of them. Anyway, we had another great trip. We hope you enjoyed the show, and until we see you again, keep those lines tight and have some good fishing.